Hello everyone, I am Muhammad Ikram bin Alias and I am here to share our fun twist on grammar learning, the three wise monkeys concept. Big shout out to my incredible co-authors, Madam Farah Aifa, Dr. Shushma Devi and Madam Hafiza Shazwani. We know grammar can be tricky because of the rote learning. So, we reimagined the classic see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil into see no more, hear no more, and speak no more to help pupils learn grammar in a smarter, more engaging way. The result? People think deeper, retain better, and finally make grammar works in real life. Now, teaching English grammar to ESL students often relies on traditional methods, memorizing rules and drilling exercises. But how much do students truly learn this way? Unfortunately, these methods often lead to a shallow understanding and poor retention of grammar concepts. This is where innovation steps in. The adapted version of the Three Wise Monkey is aimed to transform grammar learning into a thoughtful experience. By encouraging observation, reflection, and silent practice, this method moves away from rote memorization. It helps students build a deeper understanding of grammar rules and retain them more effectively. Let's talk about something we all face as teachers. Why do our people struggle with grammar? They can memorize rules, but when it times to use them, those rules seems to disappear. This is what I call superficial understanding. Pupils know the theory but can't apply it. And of course, we see the issue of retention. We teach a concept and a few weeks later, it's gone. At the root of all these challenges is rote learning. Memorization and drills may work short term, but they rarely connect grammar to real communication. The good news? We can break this cycle. Now that we have explored the issues with rote learning in grammar teaching, let's talk about the solution. Through my research, I've developed a strategy based on the three wise monkeys concept: see no more, speak no more, hear no more. Here's how it works. In See No More, pupils close their books and try to solve a grammar problem on their own. In Speak No More, I silently demonstrate the solution step by step and then ask them where they got stuck. Finally, in Hear No More, they work on new problems without any resources, just their own minds and collaboration. The result? Students move from memorization to meaningful application, becoming active participants in their learning journey. So, where does this leave us? The three wise monkey concept offers a refreshing alternative to traditional grammar instruction, addressing key issues like superficial understanding and retention. This method not only improves grammar retention but also fosters meaningful learning. With this in mind, the next step is to examine how effective this strategy truly is in an ESL classroom setting. I aim to explore how the three wise monkeys framework impacts both grammar retention and meaningful learning. Specifically, I want to understand how silent reflection and discovery learning empowers Form 1 pupils to internalize and apply grammar rules more effectively. This leads me to two guiding research questions. The first one is: to what extent does the three wise monkeys concept promote meaningful learning in grammar lessons? And the second one is: to what extent does the three wise monkeys concept promote grammar retention? With these refined questions in focus, let's dive into how this study will be conducted to address them. Now, let me walk you through how this research is laid out. We are working with 40 Form 1 pupils divided into two groups. One control group of 20 pupils using traditional teacher led lessons, and experimental group of 20 pupils. To measure their progress and retention, both groups take a delayed grammar test after a month from the intervention. This delayed testing allows us to truly assess how well pupils retain grammar rules over time. The grammar test comprises not only MCQs but also gap filling and error correction questions to gauge their meaningful learning. The results are analyzed using a t-test to determine if the three wise monkey method has a significant impact compared to traditional teaching. Now, let's take a closer look at the result of our experiment, as summarized in these two box plots. First, in the meaningful learning box plot, we compare the score distributions of the control and experimental groups. The control group, which followed the standard teaching method, shows a medium score around 70. In contrast, The experimental group using the intervention achieved a significantly higher median score, closer to 85. This shows a notable improvement in meaningful learning outcomes for the experimental group. Additionally, the spread of the scores for the experimental group is smaller, indicating more consistent performance. Next, in the grammar retention box plot, the pattern is similar. The control group has a median score of approximately 72, while the experimental group scores much higher with a median close to 88. This increase highlights the impact of the intervention, showing a significant enhancement in grammar retention. The tighter clustering of scores in the experimental group reinforces the reliability of these gains. In summary, these box plots illustrate the success of the intervention in improving both meaningful learning and grammar retention. The experimental group consistently outperformed the control group, not only achieving higher score but also showing less variability in performance. Now, let's connect these results to the theories behind this study. The experimental group demonstrated a significant improvement in both aspects. These findings resonate with Gattagno's silent way, which emphasized meaningful learning by minimizing teacher input. Students in the experimental group were encouraged to actively explore and internalize grammar concepts, resulting in better understanding and retention. Bruner's discovery learning is also reflected in these results. Students weren't just memorizing grammar rules, they were engaging in active problem solving and critical reflection. Together, these findings underscore the effectiveness of the interventions. Now, to conclude, this research demonstrates the potential of the three wise monkeys concept in transforming grammar instruction for ESL learners by emphasizing silent reflection and independent problem solving. The approach successfully addressed challenges like poor retention and shallow understanding. The experimental group's significant improvement in grammar test scores, outperforming the control group, shows that this method not only boosts retention but ultimately highlights the importance of meaningful learning. Looking back at this study, I see room to grow and to improve in future research. First, I'd like to explore effect sizes to better understand how meaningful the differences are beyond just statistical significance. Second, it is important to check if these improvements stick over time. Testing participants again after a few weeks or months can show us if the learning lasts. Lastly, I want to see how this method works for different groups, like beginners or those with specific learning styles. This could help make the approach even more effective for everyone. Now, thank you for your attention throughout this session. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts, ask questions, or even challenge the ideas presented. Feel free to ask about anything from the Three Wise Monkeys concept to its practical application in ESL classrooms.